come back to post-production on Warhorse and really see it for the first time. So I use the projects to really, create some clarity in the way I can return and see what I could change, what I can shorten, how I can make it better. So it's actually been a benefit to me, not a deterrent.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, well, let's see. I think we're going to try to take some questions from the audience. Are we ready for that? Oh?
Mr. Spielberg, Mr. Jackson, I love you. I love you. You're the best filmmakers in the world. And I got one question. I got a question for you, but I'm sorry, I'm so nervous here. Is it true that when you was filming Tintin, that Daniel Craig, when he met Clint Eastwood, was he wearing mocap tights?
Yeah.
Isn't that Andy Serkis?
Yes, Andy Serkis, ladies and
Okay, good luck beating that, sir. This better be good.
Hi. How the hell do you follow that? Anyway, Peter, we're really excited for The Hobbit, but this question is for Mr. Spielberg. Firstly, thank you so much. I'm sure I speak for all of us. This is a dream come true. Thank you so much for coming. Tintin looks outstanding, as does Warhorse, but I wanted to go back and ask you a question about Jaws. You recently did a really insightful interview with Eric over at Ain't It Cool News.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we all know that you had nothing to do with the Jaws sequels, thank God for that. But you did mention that you had an idea for a scene that might have appeared in a potential sequel. And I know you're reluctant to talk about that, but I was hoping you would share it with the fans. And if you're not willing to share that with the fans, what did you think of Richard Dreyfuss's cameo in Piranha?
Okay. Well, it's not that I'm not willing to share it with the fans, but I'm trying very, very hard to keep Jaws at a minimum of 3 movies. The first one, which I directed, I don't want to give Universal any ideas. They're going to run off and make it with somebody else. There's a book that's out now, which I would say it would be suggested reading. It's almost in the form of a coffee table book, but it's a book that interviews all the people on the island of Martha's Vineyard, both who worked with us and who just observed us, insanely spending 9 months making that movie in the middle of the ocean and on shore. And I would recommend to all of you fans that it is a book that really shows what kind of a support system an entire community can be in allowing us to make our movies. It's a wonderful coffee table book about the making of Jaws, which of course has come out over 30 years late, but it's a great book.
Fantastic. Next question.
Hello, my name is Sam. You two are amazing. I should say that. People in your childhood, how much do they affect how you direct your movies?
Well, I think for me, that question is how much of your own child that you use to make the films. And I mean, I'm totally a kid still. I mean, honestly, everything that I loved from the age of 6 or 7 through to being 17, I mean, everything that I was, my hobbies, like model train sets and World War I airplanes and movie making and King Kong and Ray Harryhausen's movies, everything I'm still obsessed by. I mean, I literally don't have any new interests since I was about 17 years old. And sad. Some people think that's sad, but I actually like it. I really enjoy it. When I make movies, I'm literally trying to make them for the kid that I was and I still am. I mean, there's nothing sort of secret about it, really.
Hi there. Next question.
Yeah, it's nice that you love Ray Harryhausen, because he's inspired us all.
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to ask you, how do you compare Beowulf, like the CGI in that, to Tintin?
Well, the evolution of this technology has come to the point where we really, can be photorealistic to the extent that the animators not just create a facial character that slides into various poses or expression, but they create the musculature, they create the nerves, they actually create an anatomy that responds like we respond, or like any actor responds in a live action movie. So the facial equivalent, as you could see on some of the footage, of an emotion, of an intensity, is exactly and absolutely lifelike. And that was just because we have evolved with this technology from the Polar Express, and the biggest quantum leap ahead, of course, were the Na'vi in Avatar. We were the very happy, beneficiaries of that technology and those animators.
Thanks. Hi there, how are you?
Okay. Hello, my name is Alex. This one's for Steven Spielberg. I really like all your movies. I'm wondering what your favorite one was to make.
Oh, that's great. Great. Let me tell you the most important personal thing that ever happened to me in my life where a movie was concerned. And this is why it's my favorite movie to make. My favorite movie to make, which I hope you've seen, is E.T. And I'll tell you why it was my favorite movie to make. When we finish making a movie, we're with people for many, many months, and they become like our family. But sadly, when a movie's over, everybody goes on to other movies, and we go home alone. And I got so close to those kids, Robert McNaughton and Henry Thomas and Drew Barrymore, that this time when I went home from the production of E.T., I didn't want to go home. I wanted to come back to the movie, but it was over. And then I realized, why was I feeling so sad that experience had ended? And I realized, for the first time in my life, that I wanted to have children. I never felt that before E.T. I have 7 now, thanks to E.T. Wow.
Hello, Peter. I'm Julian Lara. I'm a horror filmmaker from Spain.
Hey.
And I'm a big fan of you since Bad Taste. My question is, are you planning to go eventually to go back to make horror, funny, bloody movies?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I've got, I do have a couple of things that I'm sort of playing around with at the moment, done some early conceptual designs for, and definitely in the future, yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Hello there. The first thing I want to say, y'all are incredible. I mean, just incredible.
Thank you.
My question is, out of all the movies that each of you have produced, which one do you wish you would have been the director of that movie?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a tough question. My God. Oh, my God. Because the second I answer your question, the director said, oh, I didn't realize my job was in jeopardy. Well, here's the good news. Of many of the movies that I've produced, I couldn't have made those movies as good as the directors who I hired to direct those movies, because those movies were more a part of their DNA than mine. But if there was one movie that I gave away, that I loved as close, as dearly as anything, and yet I gave it to, I thought, the best person for the movie, and I could have directed it. My wife read the script and said, if you don't direct this, I'm going to leave you. Of course, she was kidding. We've been together almost 20 years, but that would be American Beauty. Wow. But even though that was the one that got away, it got away to the right director, Sam Mendes, and he won an Oscar for it.
Peter, how about you? Is there one that you would have?
Well, I've only produced District 9. Haven't I? I think it's just about the only one I've apart from Tintin. I'm very happy Stephen directed Tintin.
Tintin.
No, I'm very. I'm not really, I find that I get so excited about movies that when I'm imagining them, that I kind of just sort of naturally want to go and direct them. I mean, District 9 was very much Neil Blomkamp's idea, so that was obviously, a no-brainer that he would make that. But anytime I think of an idea and think for a moment that I don't want to produce it, eventually I fall in love with it, and so I'm very happy to have done what I've done.
It's been a great year for you, Stephen, with, obviously Super 8, now Cowboys and Aliens, Transformers. So the producing seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah, I like producing. I mean, my favorite producing I've ever done in terms of, and here's what I do as a producer. I hire the director and I go away. And that's the smartest thing I can do as a producer. By the way, that's the smartest thing that most producers should do when they produce for directors that should run the show. You know, my happiest moment producing was producing Bob Zemeckis' 3 Back to the Future movies.
Hello.
Hi. My question's for both of you guys. After all of your achievements and accolades, what keeps you guys going? What keeps you guys inspired? And for Steven, is there any chance you can get Tom Hanks to come down here?
He's never been down here. Well, maybe now that I've come down here, he'll come down here next year. You know, what keeps me going is you. If it weren't for you, I would stop. Seriously, you guys girls all keep us going. You know, we cannot make the kind of audience movies we make without your support and without the fact that you see them more than one time, and the fact that you write about them, and the fact that you're honest in your feelings about them, and you're also honest in your feelings about us. You don't love me all the time. You love me sometime, and sometime you don't, and you take us to task. And by the way, it keeps us honest. Keep taking us to task when you feel like it, please.
Hey guys, it's Mike with Mel Woods. Just wondering, Jurassic Park 4, where are you at with that?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
For Jurassic Park 4, has anything happened with that?
Yes, it has. Jurassic Park 4. We have a story. I can happily announce right now. We have a writer who is writing the